Hey, I'm Allie.
And I'm Taylor from the Weekday News.
Constitution Day is tomorrow.
So we're taking this time to remember what the Constitution is all about.
We're talking to people around the school about the preamble,
listening to what Mr. Ziegler, Mr. Noner, and Mrs. Sorensen have to say,
seeing what the Constitution means to you,
and finishing it off with a recap from Mr. Martins.
Let the games begin.
We the people.
In order to form a more perfect union.
Establish justice.
Ensure domestic tranquility.
Provide for the common defense.
Promote the general welfare.
And secure the blessings of liberty.
For ourselves and for our prosperity.
To ordain and establish this Constitution.
For the United States of America.
The Constitution of the United States is not only a document signed by our forefathers, it is a symbol of power, strength, and a future. The states were very different from each other, however they realized that in order to grow and prosper, they needed the other states. So delegates from each state got together and a plan for unity was initially submitted for the Second Continental Congress on July 12, 1776. After much debate, on November 15, 1777, the states finally established a firm league of friendship. That became known as the Articles of Confederation. The Articles, however, did not go into effect until March 1, 1781. Under the Articles of Confederation, each state remained independent, with a single vote, and there was no real power behind the central government. Within 2 years, it became obvious that the Articles of Confederation was weak and would not work for the United States.
The Articles of Confederation basically kept the states separated and didn't unify the states.
Delegates from each state, except Rhode Island, began arriving in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in May 1787. At first, only Virginia and Pennsylvania were represented. Early on, Governor Edmund Randolph presented the Virginia Plan, which provided for a national government with 3 branches.
The Constitution was written to ensure that we had a just government. It was written to ensure that the government would protect the people and their rights. And it was written to be a benefit to the people for generations to come. The Constitution is the highest law of our land, and it's also a framework for how our government is set up. There's 7 parts to the Constitution. The first 3 are the ones that establish our 3 branches of government, our legislative branch, our executive branch, and our judicial branch. And then 10 amendments were passed right after it was adopted, and those 10 amendments are the ones that protect our individual rights, establish and protect our individual rights.
The Constitution of the United States is a document that not only sets up our government system, but also creates the laws and regulations that we live our everyday life by, and also sets up the formation of federal government and state governments and how they work together, with the American people being major representatives of themselves in law. I think the Constitution is a document that all Americans should be really proud of. You know, it's a document that's not only influenced by a lot of history that came before, but inevitably influence a lot of democracies to come throughout the world. And so for Americans to first off be proud of the document and what our forefathers put together as the institution of the United States, but also as a way to live our everyday lives out as United States citizens, knowing our rights but also our obligations.
And that's just the founding basis of everything that we enjoy as Americans.
What does the Constitution mean to you?
Freedom of speech.
The right to bear arms.
Freedom of speech.
I think it's important that we celebrate and recognize Constitution Day because we really need to understand the basis of our democracy and the reason that we have the freedoms that we have here in the United States of America. We have an amazing opportunity to do so many things on an individual basis, and it's because we've established the rights and the freedoms that the Constitution shares with us. I also think it's so important for us to be knowledgeable about what rights are defined within that Constitution, so that we not only know our own rights, but the rights of all Americans and the opportunities that they should have as they go through life here in the U.S. We are so fortunate to live in this country, and we need to know that the basis or a driving force behind why we're such a strong country is because of our U.S. Constitution.